And just like that, the JillStream is live. Oh my, how are you, Jill? It's good to see you, my friend. All right, well, I'm getting all ahead of myself here, but hello.
Well, I think saying hello it's a good place to start.
I definitely yes. Hello. But welcome. I am Antonio Bryce. I'm a comic book writer. I have a small comic book. It's called Brand Way of the Gun. Slide over to AkariPress.com or check it out on Indiegogo and pick up that Hall of Fame pack. We want you as a reader. But this is the JillStream, and this is my very lovely hoodied co-host, Miss Jill. And Jill, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Fantastic. Ready for a little wire action.
Yes, this is Wire Wednesdays here on the JillStream. I'm starting to see, ever since we switched over to Anchor, I'm getting more like analytics and stuff. And the numbers are going up. We're building an audience, so that's a good thing.
Cool.
Yeah, so
surprising to me.
That is awesome. People are here and they're listening to us. By the way, you can catch the JillStream every Wednesday and Friday right here on this channel at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can also, since we do stream this as a podcast as well, you can also catch us on anchor.fm/AkariPress. It has a list of several places where this podcast is syndicated. If you want to check it out, a few of those places are iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. We are also streaming live to all the wonderful members of Planet EJOBN on Facebook. My thanks to the great Jamal Baraka for sharing his platform with us and allowing people to see this. This is Wire Wednesday. Yes. So if you are watching somewhere else and you want to directly hang out in the YouTube chat, it is youtube.com/AkariPress. Now, I'm giving everybody a few moments. So like I said, this is Wire Wednesday. We are going to be watching season 1, episode 6 of The Wire. So we've got a Wire playlist on this channel.
Which is called The Wire.
It's called The Wire. So it's pretty easy.
The Wire.
So if you have HBO Max or if you're watching on Blu-ray or DVD or whatever you're doing, if you want to watch along with us, this is episode 6 from season 1. It's called The Wire. It is directed by a gentleman by the name of Ed Bianchi. He actually, during the course of The Wire, directed 4 episodes. 1 episode this season. He'll direct 2 episodes in season 2, and then he will direct the first episode of season 3 of The Wire, which is one of my favorite season with Amsterdam and all that kind of stuff. And so I think season 3 is probably my favorite. And I go back and forth. Season 3 is season 1, and then season 4, then season 2, then the final season. So that's where I kind of look at it. But
remind me. The final season is the one with
the newspapers,
but with like the killer
and the serial killer
in Amsterdam, right? In the houses, or am I just conflating that in my head?
Yeah, because what happened? Season 4, you start finding out that people are starting to disappear in the city of Baltimore, but no one is. There are people missing, and then they find out. But Marlowe is clearly the king of Baltimore, but they're like, how does Marlowe control Baltimore without a bunch of bodies floating around? They can't figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then by the end of season 4, they find out where those bodies are.
Right. And I think that's why
which leads into season 5.
Yeah.
And so season 5 could actually be part of because it directly, the stuff that happened with Marlowe directly rolled into season 5, and then McNulty is bound and determined by any means necessary to take down Marlowe Stanfield.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yes, but that's like I said. But you're gonna see some shades of this. No, because this particular show is about The Wire. So we talk about all aspects of The Wire. But here we are. Okay, so yes. I have got my little TV Xbox thingy queued up to HBO Max. I'm on the 0 mark here of The Wire season 1 episode 6. So give you a second or two if you want to line up with us and kind of watch it, or you can just listen to us babble our mouths, and you might.
Yeah,
some
we always
people
go off on tangents anyway.
Yeah, and I figure some people, because as I've started to look at some of the streaming numbers, I figure some people are probably listening to us on like iTunes or whatever, and they're like, "Hey, I'll just listen to it while they talk, and watch later or something."
To their horrible voices.
But
oh
either
no,
way,
my thing just went out.
If you, that's not good. Do we need?
No, it's fine. I mean, it just went like to sleep.
Okay, I was like, okay, cool.
We're good.
Okay,
like,
okay, whatever you're listening on or watching or doing, I've got, like I said, if you got a Blu-ray or whatever, and you're a Wire fan and you just want to watch. So okay, I'm gonna do the little 3, 2, 1, and I'm gonna hit my button, and so okay, so season 1, episode 6, which is actually called The Wire, and we're gonna get right here in 3, 2, 1. Bam! Hit your button. All right, got the nice static screen. And yeah, all right.
Oh, we start with a bang.
Yeah, we start with a bang. Here
a bloody dead body splayed on the car.
So yeah, in last week's episode, Wallace and Poot had made the call to D, and then D text Stringer, hit Stringer Bell on the pager. And Stringer was with Weebay and Bird and all those guys, and they decided to roll up on Brandon. They had already got Bailey, so both of the people that were with Omar Little when he stuck up the stash house, they have both been eliminated now. So because they got Bailey first, and then now I know people that do this. The bootleg electricity.
Yes, but think about this. This is called The Wire. We're getting into the wire this season. We start with that body, but then we follow this wire. We're following this wire or this cord. It's really a cord. Okay. I'm pushing it, but it's kind of interesting.
That would have been funny if they called the episode The Extension Cord.
The extension cord. But yeah, this is like... This is sad to me.
This is actually like the way they're living. It really rings true to me, because they don't. This is a vacant, which will play out with Marlo in season 4. That's why I said it wasn't actually wasted conversation, because they're actually living in a row house in an abandoned building that's been condemned by the city. So
and we say there's just a bunch of kids here.
Yeah, and you see that Wallace is responsible, and Poot. They basically run. There's got to be 6, 7 other kids living there with them.
A bunch of kids, yeah.
And they're all, they're raising these children. But I thought it was interesting because they had to keep bottled water in there because there's no running water in there.
Right.
So they don't have running water. So you notice when he's in there brushing his teeth, and he had to drink from the bottled water, and then
the fact that he's brushing his teeth though is pretty awesome. Like, just they're
trying to be clean.
Got the basics down. Yeah, like he's trying, man.
Well, I've seen people
trying here. Yeah.
No, you just don't understand. They lived
care
places
about
where
these kids,
right? And I've lived places where people have gotten their electricity turned off. They've gotten their water turned. Well, I mean, we've had to let people like use our shower and stuff because they don't have electricity and running water at the house and stuff. That kind of. This really spoke to me. So this is breakfast: a bag of chips and a juice box. So
yeah, not the healthiest breakfast, but at least they have something.
Yeah. So
yeah, if Animal Trapped called.
Yeah, like I said, this is a condemned building. The city has no further use for these. And I
was gonna say they all at least have like coats or a sweatshirt, except that one kid who's like, I'm good.
Yeah. So I'm like, how do they? I'm like, because he's sitting here. You notice Poot was like sticking his hand up there. Like, is there some kind of locking mechanism up there? So I was sitting there going, you got all your stuff up there, and I guess. Oh my God! I mean, because I didn't see no way for them to lock their doors or whatever. How do they keep everything?
Right, like how does somebody else not roll up in there?
Right.
Shit, so, like Bubbles and his friend or something, or just people, some drug addicts or something.
Right. And so, man, that's and that bothers Wallace.
Well,
One thing I thought was
he feels
cool,
responsible. He made the call.
but notice that you may have missed something when they got the close up of Wallace. He still had that cut over his eye from where Bodie had thrown the 40-ounce bottle at him. Remember when he threw the 40 and up against the wall and the glass shattered and it cut him. And so when they did the cut up, the close up, he still had the look up, which I thought was a nice touch. Because a lot of times television shows forget that, and in the next episode, his face is just cut free and so I thought I noticed that and I was like, oh, he's still, because I probably wouldn't have even noticed if the cut had been gone, but for some reason I looked and I said he still got the cut from the previous episode, and so I thought that was a nice touch. Maybe he got hurt in real, because there was a guy and he actually got into a car accident while he was shooting a movie, but he was still able to shoot the movie. So what they did was the guy was on Howard Stern. I can't remember his name, but they wrote into the story that something happened to him, and so he played out the rest of the movie just all bandaged up and everything. And it was a free makeup job. So I was like, what if Michael B. Jordan really did get hurt in real life, and then they just had to write it into the script or whatever, Because I thought that was strange. I was like, man, he still got that cut.
It could have also just happened to have been filmed on the same day. Like they filmed a lot of his shots on the same day, so it was easy to keep the continuity, or not. Either way.
The quote card for the episode is "and all the pieces matter," which is said by Lester Freeman in this episode. I always love that part about the quote cards. I always thought that was a nice touch with The Wire. And so, so Rawls and you see Jay, they are this is when they are trying to reason with McNulty. They're trying to tell him, hey, you're an asshole, but you're a good cop. So why don't we try to reel you back in?
Who's the mid boss here? Who's the blue shirt guy? What's his character name again?
You talking about Jay Landsman, or are you talking about Rawls? Because that's Rawls.
He's like boss right above him. The guy that works. Not the Thai guy. Not him.
You talking about fat guy, Landsman?
Yeah, fat guy.
Yeah, Landsman.
I was trying not to say the fat guy, but he does look like
fat. I'm like, yeah,
he does look like the perfect fat cop, right? But I think he's the one that he does the most finessing here, kind of trying to like. It might be a different scene. I'm thinking.
He likes always McNulty.
Trying to finesse for McNulty with this guy the higher boss.
Because he's seen
and he knows
he's been a police officer in this department for, about 15, 20 years or so now, worked his way up to where he's just I guess he's a sergeant or whatever the hell he is. I think he's a sergeant. And, but
we're all crooked. We're all just trying to like watch out for ourselves and get to the top. We need like at least one or two people around here that are actually doing the job.
And
keep them around.
He actually went to Rawls in episode 5. And he was like, look, I know McNulty's a piece of shit, but he's a great cop. Yeah. And if let me talk to him and see, can we smooth this out? And because he figured, he was like, okay, so even if we bring this case home, because of what McNulty did by going to the judge and all that kind of stuff,
right?
He's going to be, his career in the police department is going to be in the toilet.
He has to be punished somehow in their eyes. Like he's going to be punished, but it's like, all right, fine. We'll throw him these little bones. We'll let them do this. But yeah, when all is said and done, he will be punished.
And so now we're on the screen. D'Angelo is getting his new kicks. He got the Timbs. He got all kind of, he's got like 2 closets. Now he lives here by himself. He has not allowed his baby mother to move in with him. Because she's been, remember, his baby mother's been pressuring him. Hey, come on, we got a child together. Let's actually do this thing and settle down.
He gives her money based off all the shit he's buying for himself. I mean, for his baby.
Well, I mean, but you saw when they took the baby to the barbecue, that baby was iced out. The baby had a nice.
He was he was super cute. That's true.
Yeah, they did. The baby not struggling. He
looks all right. You're right.
Yeah, they look like they put a couple $100 worth of clothes on that baby. I was like, oh man.
And we didn't. Well, maybe we did see his shoes, but I'm sure he had little baby.
Really, here's the reality. If I had access to hundreds of thousands of dollars and I had a baby, I would just go to like Walmart and get the baby clothes. Because the baby ain't gonna do nothing but drool all over. I see people buying like Jordans and stuff for it. I went to the shoe store and they had like the little baby Jordans and they were like $45 and stuff. And I was like, why would you buy little baby shoe Jordans? The baby, he's only gonna be able to wear them for a couple months or whatever and stuff.
I'm so concerned about that sort of thing. Like,
let me get some Tommy Hilfiger for this baby and Gucci stuff. They
next month they won't be able to wear them because
that's what I'm saying. That the baby definitely had some very expensive. They made sure that baby looked real nice and the mother looked real nice and D likes to dress, so He's got, as you saw, he got 2 closets full of clothes. He got all kind of, and what was even more telling is he probably rarely ever wears the same thing more than a couple times because
that's what I was thinking. Like
when he was pulling he was pulling all his clothes out, a lot of his clothes that were on the hangers and stuff, they still had the tags on them. You notice he was taking them and cutting the tags off of the stuff. They were brand new, everything. So he always is going to shop, and that's what he cares about. He don't care about going out on the street hustling and doing all that stuff. He don't care about that stuff like Avon do. Although you see, Avon got his stuff all decked out too.
My sister at some point dated this guy briefly who. It was the strangest thing, and I don't even know how I know this. Well, she must have told me, but like he never wore the same underwear or socks like over again, like never, like just got rid of them after being worn once. I was like, wow, what a waste.
Well,
very strange, very bizarre to me. Like,
I was watching HBO Max the other night, and I happened to throw on Superman 3, the one with Richard Pryor in it. And I can't. What was the guy? Robert something. I can't remember the actor's name that played the villain because they couldn't get Gene Hackman back. But he was a billionaire, or I guess back then a multimillionaire. They didn't have.
Sure,
So
that would be enough. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a rich guy, and so I remember when Richard Pryor had hacked in the computer and stole all the money, and he got a check for like $80,000, and that was supposed to be like now they'd have to make the check for like $400,000 or something. The dude stole like $80,000. They were like, "Oh my God, that's a lot of money,"
Yeah.
But the guy actually, when he confronted Richard and told him, he was like, "Hey, we know you've been stealing money from us," so all that kind of stuff. And he said that he never wears the same pair of socks more than once. He wears them once, and he said they're given to like charity or something. So that's 365 pairs of socks a year, and they weren't cheap socks.
I was actually thinking about that the other day, about things that people donate clothing wise, and because there was some commercial about socks, and it's like, we donate socks to homeless shelters because it's the most requested item. And like, I was thinking about it, I was like, well, that kind of makes sense to me, because at least for like, you kind of just wear that crap until it goes away, until it's kind of worn, and then you just throw it away. You don't donate that shit, or like old ass underwear. Okay. You'd never donate that. Okay, so McNulty's on the crime scene now. He's going to check Brandon. Now we got to see Brandon. This is what, the third or fourth time they've just shown us Brandon's body. It's like, here's Brandon's body again.
But these two detectives that you're saying, McNulty, they're going to be on the wire from beginning to the end. They're going to be. You'll see them in season 5 and everything. Now the white detective, he was actually the district attorney or the mayor or something in Baltimore, and he got arrested for corruption. This is that guy. Yeah.
Wait, in real life, you're saying?
He got arrested in real life. He's a real criminal. You can look this up. This dude had been like the district attorney or the mayor or something in Baltimore. I think he'd been like the
and he
attorney
gets
general or something.
He gets this cush-ass gig on The Wire. What the hell?
So he had been like a real police something or whatever, and he got arrested for corruption and fired for that or whatever, and then I think he for a while there he had a radio show or something where people would call him, but he ended up becoming an actor and
obviously didn't go to jail. He got basically a slap on the wrist for whatever he did.
Yeah,
got fired, probably laid off, probably still got some sort of sweetheart deal.
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but yeah, I've studied this show so much. Studied, and I didn't realize. I was like, that guy was like real police officer or something. But like I said, he lost his job due to corruption or something, and then he actually had to do a little time, and then when he got out, he ended up getting a job on The Wire, and like I said, he's on every season.
My mom actually, she's a court reporter or court stenographer, and years ago, probably like 20 years ago, she worked for this particular judge. Like she only worked in his court, and he was like very awesome and very generous and all this and that, and he ended up getting busted for corruption, like weird mafia shit or something.
Yeah. So, okay, wait a minute. So now we've got D talking with Wallace, and Wallace is explaining to D that him seeing Brandon like that really spooked him. He didn't like, it really bothered him to see one of the eyes blowed out and do the way they did it. Because remember, what was it, like 3 episodes ago, Avon told him, he said, I want him sprawled out on the hood of a car like a deer.
He wanted it like a message to whoever sees it. Basically.
He wanted it to so it would ring out in the projects. He wanted everybody to know, if you steal from me, you're not just gonna die. It's gonna be serious consequences. And
I believe they tortured him. I think they talked about it. Like
that's what I'm saying. He told him he wanted them to work on him. He wanted them to work on him, and then when they got done, they wanted him, and they obviously they did that because what was the opening shot of the episode? Oh, he's like laid out. You see one of the eyes is popped. And
now we've seen it like at least 4 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Prez and Lester now like working out the codes and everything. That's what's happening, right? Like Prez is writing down all his numbers. Lester's like, look at this guy. He's actually kind of smart.
Okay. Okay. So now they're figuring out.
With himself. Yeah.
So now, Prez, that was a good catch. So now they know what they're figuring out everybody's individual codes because they just sent the fake text to D's pager and made it look like it came from Stringer Bell. And now he's like, yo, I didn't call you. What are you talking about?
D messing up yet again, but not even like knowingly this time.
Well, yeah, really.
It wasn't his fault, but it's just funny. It's like once again, he's kind of
he don't know
without knowing it.
Yeah, he don't know that the police have started cracking the codes and everything.
Yeah, and how would they know that? They wouldn't even think that would be a thing at this point.
And at that, and obviously, Avon had already told like Weebay and stuff. They started switching certain things up about how they move. Hey, don't keep using the same payphones. They're starting to do that because of some of the, like when the police came down to the pits and kicked the doors in and all that kind of stuff. So they're starting to try to want to switch it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't. Okay. So this is the Barksdales getting Levee to spring Bodie. To get
lawyer. What's the lawyer's name?
Levee.
Levee. Sorry, Levee. Okay, yeah. Levee's funny. Just as
and
I guess I can say corrupt. I don't know if he's even corrupt. He's just a lawyer. Like his client is just.
Oh, I love that. I love the judge is going, hey, this guy gets 2 lawyers. Yeah, he's like, she got her wig on.
Nice court wig, yeah.
That reminded me of my mom towards the end. My mom would be wearing these wigs out because when she didn't have her, her hair would be all busted, and then but my mom would put these wigs on that looked so obviously like wigs. It wasn't even. I was like, you're not even trying to pretend. She would put on like white woman's hair.
Was that just like part of the style? Like that's just like she obviously thought it was good.
I hated my mom's wigs because I was like, if you're gonna put on a wig, why are you trying to make your hair look? It's so obviously fake looking. It's like, yeah, let me put on like long flowing hair.
I had a great aunt who had like alopecia or whatever. Like she had no hair, and she always wore wigs, and she always would have some sort of different style or whatever going on. I always thought it was actually kind of cool. Like she always just kind of went for it, and I was like, yeah, go for it.
So yeah, so okay, so I realized, okay, so this is setting up one of my favorite situations here, because Herc and Carver obviously caught Brody and took him back to the boys' home, right?
Right.
So they don't know that Brody is legitimately getting out this time. So they're gonna run up on him again, going, "You escaped again? What?"
Yeah. No, Levee just doing his job, doing what he's getting paid for.
Yeah, he gets paid a lot of money.
He must.
One thing that kind of threw me off, though, I thought every part of Baltimore would have their own drug lawyer, like, you know, because Proposition Joe is on the east side, but but Levee's his lawyer, and then you got you see Levee represents pretty much everybody that's a big player on the wire.
You know what though? It's probably doesn't really come up as a conflict of interest because they're not suing each other over drug business. You know, they're just if anything, it's just criminal and
he's doing criminal. He's doing criminal law.
Not really a conflict of interest, I guess, unless somehow
but they're all competing with each other, though.
Yeah, so, I mean, I guess unless one of Proposition Joe's guys like murdered one of Avon's guys, and then somehow he's like trying to get him off, and I guess that could be a thing.
What was so crazy, like, because there's one guy that works that worked for the Barksdales this season, and then he ends up going to jail, and then when he gets out, he's working for Marlowe. Like in season 4 or 5, I think it's season 5. He's working for Marlowe, and then so it's the same. But and the whole thing is still all on. You know, they're all running everything through because Prop Joe takes Marlowe. He's trying to school Marlowe, and he takes him to Levee. He's like, "Hey, man, because they were trying. You know, Marlowe obviously wanted to hustle, but he didn't understand everything. And he's like, "Yo, you making so much money now. You need to learn how to make it more legitimate." And so, you know, helps him learn how to get an international bank account, set up passports, all this kind. He needs a lawyer, all of, you know, the things that would help him where he's
smooth out some of those rough edges.
Yeah, he's not just street level anymore. So once you go from being a street level guy to being a boss, he's like, okay, you're a boss now. So you need a passport, you need an international bank account, you need a lawyer. You know, you need to insulate yourself so you're not having to interact with the day-to-days on the street as much.
And you have to have a certain image too, I would assume.
Yeah, absolutely. But you also see that this is what Stringer is trying to get. You know, this is the way of thinking that Stringer has with Avon. But Avon's like, nah, man, I don't play away game.
Yeah.
Avon is like,
Avon's like kind of more about like local business instead of like, you know, like Avon's like he's like the socialist, and the other dudes are more, you know, like more out for themselves, so to speak. It's like he's gonna keep it at home.
When you hear them talking, when you see Stringer and Avon talking, they have two different visions. Because Stringer is like, yeah, we doing this now. But what if we could flip this money and make it legitimate so it's not having to be in other people's names, and not only make it legitimate, then we could buy other businesses and then employ people, and then we won't even have to touch this stuff anymore. He's trying to take that drug money and make it legit and move on to, you know, you see him later in the later seasons. He's trying to become a contractor and stuff. He's like trying to a construction business. He's trying to do legitimate real estate business and stuff like that.
Different, still gangster business, but different. Let's be real here.
Yeah.
Different gangster.
Because they even noticed, he was like, man, he's like, I'm dealing with so-called legitimate people,
right.
and they're just as corrupt as the people I was dealing with on the street.
Maybe after that, Stringer should have gone into a waste management or something.
Like The Sopranos, yeah.
Right.
And we see Herc and Carver have now found out that Brody is a free man. But now they're realizing
monitoring.
That they were like, wait a minute, home monitoring, you beat up a cop. How are you out?
Hey, you beat up a cop. He beat up a cop, but then they beat him. Like it's almost like Ben Stevens in a way.
I love Bodie here. He was like, the judge, man, he sees big things in me. And he's like what? College, law school, what? And obviously we end up seeing a bullet to the head later on for Mr. Broadus, but that's a few years away. What's that, season 4? Yeah, I guess it is. Season 4. So it's
there are twists and turns in the paths of life, and sometimes you take the wrong path, the wrong fork in the road.
Yeah, so now you like, but I love the relationship between Bodie and Herc and Carver throughout the season. I've always enjoyed that. Okay, hello. Let's see. Let's say hello to Tippy Tail McKitty in the chat there. Hello. All right. Meow. I hope that was. That's
pretty good.
But there's an episode. I think it's in the next season. It might be season 3, but you see Herc and Carver out with their. I'm pretty sure that was end up being Herc's wife, not Herc's wife, Carver's wife. And then
in the show.
They're at the movies though, but they're at the they're doing a little double date thing, and then Bodie is at the movies. He out there chilling with his girl, and they see each other. I
feel like I've seen that episode.
It's funny because, and they're like, Bodie's like, he's a friend from work. They see each other because they see each other. They like, yo. And then, hello, Keyshawn Braithwaite. I probably said that wrong, but hello. If the people that are saying hello in the chat, I always want to try to acknowledge them. At least,
hello, everyone.
But thank you for stopping in there. I love that. Big up to Bunk, my favorite drunk cop. Yes. Well, hey, Bunk Moreland is natural police. That is, and there you go. Yes. Yeah, so, okay. We're speaking of Bunk. Here we have him on the screen.
He's great.
So,
great character. Like I like when he's on the screen for sure.
Wendell Pierce, who is from New Orleans, which I did not know. Spike Lee did a documentary called When the Levees Broke. I think it was a 4-parter. It might be on HBO Max. It really breaks down. It really breaks down what happened during Katrina. And Wendell Pierce is in it. And he talks about, his father lost their home. Their home got flooded out, and then the insurance man didn't want to pay for the insurance. There's a lot of stuff going on there, but I highly recommend that. Tippy Tail McKitty says, "What's your take on the Keanu Reeves comic book?" Well, I'm a big fan of Keanu Reeves, and I saw the book did like 355,000 or whatever in the first 24 hours. So that's incredible for him. And he seems like a really nice guy.
Mean? Like he wrote it, or
it was his. From my understanding, it's because he's not a comic book writer, so they paired him. Right. He worked with Boom Studios, and they put him with a guy. So they put him with but it was his idea. Matter of fact, the character looks like him.
So it's like his story, and this guy helped him kind of.
And he gets but the other guy actually wrote like Justice League. I think his name's Matt Brink, if I'm not mistaken, but he's the writer. But Keanu had a story idea, and then they put him with the Brink guy, and he like worked out, and all this kind of thing.
So didn't talk about that last night. They talked about a lot of X-Men last night.
Yeah, but but salute to Keanu. That book looks pretty cool.
I like Keanu.
And then did you like the movie Keanu? Did you like the movie Keanu?
Is there a movie? called?
Yeah, with from Jordan Peele and the other guy. I can't remember his name.
I haven't seen that.
Okay, so they're at the thing, but
I don't watch a lot of movies.
Yeah, Keyshawn Brazier. Yeah, they're burning down the house to get rid of trace evidence. Okay, so here's the remaining drunk cop that is left on the detail. He was apparently too afraid to go ahead and throw himself down the stairs, which was the idea. Right. Remember, he was standing there like, let me go ahead and throw myself down the stairs. I think he was just too afraid to get hurt.
Have like, speaking of paths in life, should he have gone through with it, thrown your ass down the stairs? I can't remember if he redeems himself at all.
This is him. This is Daniels telling him. He's like, look, McNulty, because they're all cops, even though they think he's a drunk piece of shit, they're all police officers and they cover for
they're
each
all
other.
Brothers. It's a brotherhood. Yeah.
So even though he's been missing work,
it's a personhood.
Yeah, so they've all been writing his, what they call them, the 20s or whatever, the papers that are the incident papers that you're supposed to kind of document.
Right.
And so what they've been filling his paperwork out for him. Hey, what did you do today? So
that kind of surprised. That kind of surprised me the first time I saw that they actually were covering for him. Like,
they don't want to burn other police.
Right, and they're in this like misfit squad, and they're still like a bunch of fuck ups
to me
for each other.
Maybe this is not the right mindset, but to me, he's definitely dead weight, and I would cut him loose.
That's what I thought. Like, he's not even doing, like, he's one of the guys that brought the picture of the white guy back when they're looking for a picture of Avon. Come on.
So like, losing him is not a bad thing. But they're like, we don't want this guy to lose his job and his benefits and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was like, he's a fellow cop. He probably was a good cop at once, and then he's got to develop some bad habits, became a drunk. And
maybe for a couple of years, like in his 20s or something, maybe.
So this is when him. Okay, so this is him letting Daniels know that he's gonna like try to get help. So this is the last we're gonna see him
to rehab, right? That's the deal.
He's checking it, which the police will pay for.
Right, just do it, I guess.
It's a medical. The police will pay for his.
Do that shit though. Some people just can't handle.
Yeah, they don't.
Can't do it,
But I have so many friends that have had to go to rehab and stuff like they've been on drugs and alcohol and stuff, and they've gone and some of them have to go multiple times. I was like, that shit because they're not. It's the whole thing about 12 steps, and you have to be ready. It's not someone because when the court forces you to go, they're like, if you don't go to rehab, we're gonna lock you up or whatever. So that person's not ready to get clean yet. And this guy seems like he just hit rock bottom.
Also, and he's like there needs to be some sort of rehab that doesn't involve having to believe in God or something. That doesn't work for everybody either. Even you can just believe in a higher power. Well, that doesn't work for some people either, and that's not going to work to get people to not do.
Yeah, because if you're an atheist,
some people it works, sure, but.
Yeah, it's like if you're an atheist and you join, because a lot of those programs, they are indeed they're faith based. They're trying to help you through Christ and all this kind of. So what if you don't believe in God?
It can be good, but doesn't work for everybody.
So that's why I'm saying. So, but we flash forward in Wire lore.
I guess at least try it. You know what? Try it. Well, hey, you tried those drugs at least once and got to that point. Hey, give it a try at least once. Try it out. Give rehab a try. I guess.
But we know, I'm not Nostradamus. I'm not a fortune teller. I cannot see the future, but I have seen all the episodes of The Wire. So we are very happy to say that Drunk Cop ends up becoming a clean officer. And, he ends up in the evidence room. So that's where he is.
Which is a good place for him. He's older. He doesn't need to be out there.
Yeah, he don't need to be out there kicking doors in and all that stuff.
He looks like a guy with bad knees, or maybe.
Was that season 3? I think we see him again, or was it? I think it was season 3.
I don't remember.
I think it's season 3 because Daniels goes down. Daniels goes to the evidence room and he's in there and he looks at him. He says, "Hey man, it's good to see you landed on your feet." Because that was one of the only times that I actually, because you only seen him in a handful of episodes, but I felt good for him. I was like, it's good that he's not a drunk anymore.
He's not doing something right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, then we got these guys scamming.
Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. Yeah.
I don't love it for the guys they stole from, but
well, and that's another thing. The copper pipes and copper wires in these buildings. That's actually a real situation where a lot of construction companies, they don't use those materials anymore because the dope heads or whatever, they go in and strip the wire out. And they sell
before they're even done, right? Then they just have to redo that.
Yeah, because there's a place around here that buy scrap metal and stuff, and they will buy that copper wiring. They will buy the copper pipes. There was a building that got badly damaged out. I was still working at my old job then, and I was at a assistant manager at a gas station, and one of my customers came in, and he had his truck. The building was getting demolished or whatever, and they just needed people to help with the cleanup. And he came and he had all kind of like copper wiring and pipes in the back. He said, "Yeah, man." He said, "The guy told me." He said, "If I help him get this stuff cleaned up, that I can keep all this wire and sell." He sold it and got a couple $100 off of it. It was like he loaded. He said, "Yeah." He said, "I'm gonna take this load off." He said, "I'm about to go back and get me another truckload of it." He said, "They got all kind of pipes and stuff out there that's worth money." So I was like, "Damn." So, but you see a lot of these buildings, they start using like the harder plastic pipes and stuff like that instead of using metal pipes, because these dope heads will take the pipes and sell it for scrap metal and stuff. So these construction sites, man, this is what's going on. Avon coming to the pit.
Yeah, I was gonna say Avon's rolling through right now.
But you notice, look how he dressed.
Something's going on if Avon and Stringer are showing up.
You see Stinkum's wearing Mark Echo, which they had a deal with. And
that classic like denim jacket shirt look.
Yeah. Avon is that's called Kanai. Okay, so Avon is decked out. Okay, he got the Carl Kanai on. So okay, hold on. Keyshawn, let me see. Keyshawn Braithwaite said, "What's your take on Slim Charles?" I love Slim Charles. I follow that dude, the guy. He's like a rapper and activist. What's his name? Antoine something, I can't remember. But the guy that plays Slim Charles, which we will meet Slim Charles in season 3. I'm a big fan of his. That dude's real cool, man. I was like, I think it's Antoine Glover. I think is his name, Antoine.
That definitely sounds like someone's name. That's
or Anwan Glover, something like that. I know the last name's Glover. Matter of fact, let me check it. Let me find out for sure what his name is, because Slim Charles, and let's see, and Anwan Glover. Okay, Anwan Glover, that's him. But yeah, I love Slim Charles. Matter of fact, they brought Anwan back on the show that we were talking about last week, The Deuce. I mentioned that David Simon had another show that was set like 70s New York called The Deuce, and they brought. This guy
was sorry. That one cop was just pissing while they were all that shit went down. Congratulations, dude. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, so he just missed. Yeah, he missed some vital evidence. He missed.
What always fascinates, I don't know if it fascinates me or I find interesting, those conversations like between, like right there, like for example, out in public with like Avon, Stringer, them. It's like they're all like you said, like they're dressed. They're all like trying to be cool while still talking about all this stuff, kind of in half code, while trying to like keep this presence about themselves while they're doing it in front of everybody. Is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
And seems like mentally draining and annoying to live like that.
So you just saw Bubs. So what they did, they stole all that material and they moved it on. They went on to the other side of town to another construction site. And now they're taking the stuff that they stole from one site to sell to the other guy. And he's trying to get 40 cents a foot. And the guy knows the stuff is stolen, and he's like, "I'll give you 30 cents a foot." He didn't say he won't buy it, but he's gonna lowball it.
He's like, "Well, you paid nothing for this."
Yeah, he's like, "You stole." He said, "No, man, stuff worth like 40, 45 cents a foot." He's like, "Nah, man, this stuff's stolen, but I give you 30 cents a foot on it." And he's like, and it's him and the other two guys, and they looking, they're like, "No, man, we try to get this money so we can get high." So that's what they had to do. And so, I mean, yeah, obviously Bubs took it. So that's what it is. Aha. So this is McNulty with his children. And Keyshawn Braithwaite says, to me, Slim was a real soldier, Lord. Yeah, I like I said, I'm a big fan of Slim Charles. I love that character. And yeah, man. I love McNulty's son, where he's telling him, he's like, "Hey, we'll go to Little Italy and we'll go to Saab's and get some lasagna later." And his son was like, "You never cook." He's McNulty. Do you really? He barely had. Remember, we were watching him last week. He barely had any furniture in his place.
Yeah.
Do you really want him cooking?
Have you seen your dad's apartment, kid? Maybe not.
Yeah, he barely had room for you in there. And now you're complaining that he's not cooking the food. It's a big difference between I'm not going to cook at all, or at least he has money to buy food for them. Oh yeah, this is
nasty.
Let me. I've actually been in places like that. I've been to a crack house, a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very accurate because I don't. When you walk into a crack house and you're not on drugs, it's very eye-opening because it's
I imagine there's just a lot of fluid, like bodily fluid.
Yeah. It obviously smells funny because nobody's in there bathing.
Right.
And let me say this: it's like you go in there, and it's like one of those horror movies where someone is like say the zombies stole something important from you, but you have to get it back from the zombies, but you have to make sure you don't let them know you're in there, and you're like, okay, let me just try to get this one person from the crack house and get out of there
without like disturbing happening to anyone.
Because one thing I noticed when I was a friend of mine and we rolled up there, and immediately people will come up to your car and they'll be like, "Hey man, can you take me down to the store to get a package of resin?" Yeah, it's that
horrible.
kind of stuff.
So it just immediately starts like a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it's like,
oh no.
Oh no! I took my friend Angela. I had her out in the bricks. She was, she a little country white girl. She didn't know nothing about it. She was scared to death. She was scared, and I was like, "They know me. They don't know you. Don't worry about it."
Okay, so I was working at this. I used to work at Tower Records, and I was working with this woman, and she was like single mom with a kid, and she was living at this airport at this hotel by the Oakland airport. If anyone knows the area, it's not a great area, right? And she was like desperate for a ride home one night, and like she didn't want to ask me to take her. And but she was like desperate. I was like, I have my car, like give her a ride. And she's like, okay. So like she's like, okay, pull in here. Like we go in, she's like, Jill, turn her, like when you leave, turn around, don't let anybody talk to you. Like she gave me all these, like she'd like to try to like keep me safe when I left. She's like, don't do this, I'll just leave. And I was like, holy shit. She's a very nice woman.
No, but, I was working at a Hardee's. I was working at Hardee's on Bell Road up there in Nashville, and our grill cook, his name was Melvin. And we took Melvin lived in 2nd Avenue, and for whoever was supposed to, he didn't have a car. He was always getting dropped off like by one of his girlfriends or whatever. And what I didn't know was Melvin was a dope fiend. He was on drugs bad, and so he lived in the dope spot off 2nd Avenue in Nashville. And me and Johnny, we were cool with him, and he's like, "Yo, man, can y'all drop me off?" Yeah, sure. We took him to the spot.
Mm-hmm.
And And then when we took him there, it turned out that the spot we took him to wasn't really his house. He was going to buy drugs. He told he had us dropping him off. He had us take him. He
right.
said, he said, I just got to go talk to this girl in here.
Right. There's some story, right? I just got to run in. I have a similar story. Yeah.
He went in the house. I'm telling you, this was a horrible experience.
Did you have to like wait in the car for like at least 10? Like you're like, what's he doing in there? Right.
We thought he was just gonna go in there and come out, right?
Right.
And so me and Johnny, we got. I remember we were listening to Power Jams 92Q. Now Johnny's now here's the thing. Johnny's an old country white boy from Alabama. He was my roommate. Johnny's from Alabama. He's a country white boy. I'm from the hood. I know. And he was like, why are you worried, Antonio?
You know what's happening.
Like, and I'm like, dude, black people get victimized by crime too. That's the whole thing where they go, oh, I've had white friends tell me, oh, well, you can go into the projects because I'm like, these fools don't know me. I can get shot up just like the rest of them.
Everybody, if someone wants to cause trouble, they're gonna fucking cause trouble.
Yeah, they don't go, oh, he's black. Don't do anything to him. But Johnny is concerned because he's like, what about my white ass in here and all this?
He's like, if you're scared, I'm scared.
I'm like, I'm scared too. And Melvin was gone. We were sitting there listening. I remember like Dr. Dre's The Chronic was new at the time. We were listening to Tupac. We listened. We started looking. We like, he been gone in there for a while. He was supposed to go in there and come out.
Yeah.
And we knew where he was. We knew which apartment he went in. We went in there, and Melvin's in this. He in the damn.
Oh, you got out and went in? Holy shit!
No, he actually went in. Yeah. And we got out of the car and we were like, "Oh, we taking you home or not? What's going on?" We've been sitting out there for like 30 minutes at that point. And crackheads coming up to us like, "Hey man, can I get $5 from you, man? I ain't trying to rob you." And when they come up to you and say, "Hey, I ain't trying to rob you," I'm on alert immediately.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, "Hey, I'm not trying to rob you. Hey man, I just need like $3. I just want to get $3 so I can give me a pack of cigarettes, man. Can you take me to the store? Can you do?" And it was like zombies. It was like The Walking Dead walking up to the car. So we getting surrounded by all these dope heads. And I'm like, yo. And me and Johnny like, yo, we got to get Melvin and get the fuck out of here, man. And so we knew which apartment he went in. And so we went and we go knock on the door. And this like cracked out white girl opens the door. And Melvin's in there getting high with her. And I go,
just sitting there like he wasn't going to get up anytime soon.
And he looks at us and he goes, "Oh, y'all still out there?" I said, "Yeah, fool. You told us to wait for you so we could take you home." You're too nice. Man.
He expected you to just ditch him anyway. He's like, "Yeah, they'll just leave.
We'll drop him off. We work with you.
You should have just left." That's hilarious.
And he was God. He was the whole thing. I mean, this is a true hand to God true story. Cause
I believe it. That's hilarious.
No, he was
horrible.
Like, he said, "Y'all still out there?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, my bad, man."
And yeah, you're bad.
He said that with the white girl getting high. I'm like, okay, man. He's like, "Oh no, I'll get away. I'll find another way home." All right, man.
I'm sure you will.
Oh God, it was so crazy. And we got in the car and I was like, man, I could have killed him. It was, oh man. I was like, yo, man, you sure you can't run me up to the stove, man? These dope heads all out here, man. I was like, no, man, we're not going in that direction. Come on, bro. You can just drop me off, help a brother out.
Okay. Refocus, because we just like kind of missed some important shit here, I think, right? Like, oh my God, I'm just totally blanking now.
They got Omar in there.
They've got Omar on the hook now. Yeah, because of Brandon. Like, they got him now because he's pissed.
Yeah, because Omar has decided, he's like, look, if they had just shot Brandon, because Omar even says this. Omar's like, look, we all in the game. And if they get him, just like when they got Bailey, they didn't do all that to him. They just killed him. They just kept it moving. So Omar knows that they looking for him, just like they looking for him, they look for Brandon, they look for Bailey. So Omar's like, okay, if they get me, then that's the game. But they didn't have to do all that extra shit.
Yeah, you're right. That was a message which Omar heard. And so
he decided that absorbed. That it's totally okay to snitch on the Barksdales because
he's cool. He's very out for himself. He's very individual. What did you say? Like, he follows rules, but at the, like,
yeah, he has a moral code.
It's vengeance right now. It's revenge right now. So working with the cops is like no thing. He doesn't care about it. Snitching in this moment. He doesn't at all.
As the seasons go on, Omar kind of explains how he feels, but he don't think the snitching is okay because he could have told the cops a lot more than what he did.
That's true. He does hold a lot back.
Yeah, he had information on a lot of people that he didn't give up. But he's like, no, I'm specifically snitching on the Barksdale people because of what they did to Brandon.
Yeah, and like involving this murder and
it's like they decided to torture him and do all that stuff. If they had just killed him, then I'd have been sad and everything, but I wouldn't be going to the police snitching. But they did all this extra stuff to him. So that's where he has the problem. So yeah, that's where his issue is. He's like, yo, these guys, they play the game a little different. He's like, I don't believe the game should be played like that. He's like, if I'm out here ripping and running.
They changed the rules first. In Omar's mind, they kind of changed the rules first.
Yeah, that's why you see.
Probably.
That's why you see even street dudes, they still, even though Omar's a snitch, they still like Omar because they was like, I get why Omar did what he did because he could have gave up information on other people and he never gave nobody else up. He specifically gave up Barksdale because he went all extra with it.
He's more like a witness in this instance than a snitch, if you think about it. Like
he actually getting on. He's a snitch. He got on the witness stand. You'll see him in season 2, and he's actually gonna get on the witness stand and point out someone that and lie that he witnessed the murder that he didn't witness, and just to.
Well, then, so what's the point of having a code then?
I think he sticks to his code. He's only breaking it because of the Barksdales.
Well, you can always come up with a reason to change or not do something you want to do.
Definitely true.
Whether it's a valid reason, I guess, or a good reason.
But I mean, the game is the game. I believe that the game is the game. That is what it is. So, but like I said, Omar he is at peace with his decision to snitch on the Barksdales. He don't want to snitch on like Proposition Joe or snitch on anybody else that they could get because there's a couple because he even actually tell them because they noticed they said, damn, Omar knows a lot of shit. I remember later on he's gonna hook up with Bunk and he's gonna help him close a couple of murders and then Bunk, I remember him and Bunk have a kind of a conversation. And he's like, yo, is there anything else you can tell? And he said, I don't mind helping y'all and everything, but I don't believe the game should be played like that. He said the game is out there and it's either play or get played.
Right.
Play.
Like, plus if he can't give up the game because he's in the game. Like
he's in the game.
That would destroy his whole way of life, kind of, and reason of being to take everything down because then
definitely shout out to my to Weebay, Keyshawn. I love Weebay. That's like one of my favorites. So this Colonel or whatever. I think he might be just I think he's a major right now. He becomes by the time he died, but he dies on this show. So it's like by the time he dies, he's a colonel. But
it's always hilarious to me these scenes where it's they roll out the old cops that are just like do things our way.
But here's the thing. He's just trying. He's like, look, man, we're in this shit pretty deep. Get us out of it, because
that guy that we just saw is the most like, don't fuck my shit up. Keep everything cool.
Yeah, he's trying to get.
I'm almost gonna retire.
Yeah, he's getting close to his retirement. I mean, he's already an older guy, and he's like, I'm trying to maybe get another. He's a major, just like Rawls is. He's trying to get promoted to colonel.
He's avoided the pitfalls up to this point, keeping it. Yeah,
he's been a very smart politician because it's like you're playing. It's like Game of Thrones at the police department because you're doing things, not pissing off the bosses, doing the
and we
right
know
things.
how crazy things can get towards the end,
right?
Of whatever. So, and
it's okay. So this is how they're kind of coaching Omar on how to snitch because they're like, oh, he got the gun, and they're trying to. They're trying to like, okay, well, you say he's got a gun, but what kind? They're trying to get him to give a little bit more info. Like Omar is still like, look, I'm gonna give you some information, but I'm not just gonna do your job for you.
Right. Right.
You know,
I'll give you some pieces of the puzzle, but then you have to put the puzzle together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's the whole thing. The whole thing about getting him to go on. Once you get on the stand, but see, that's it. Omar knows, and he gets on the stand, and he's one of the few people, and this I'm talking about in real life or whatever. Mm-hmm. He went on the witness stand. It is known that he got on the witness stand. He's able to go back to the hood, and people don't mess with him.
Yeah, that's actually insane. That's crazy.
The fact that he's able to walk around the hood after he knowingly snitched.
Because that's a different game completely, getting on that witness stand. Yeah, maneuvering those waters.
It's one thing being a confidential informant and like, hey, this guy, blah, 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 blah. You know, all this kind of stuff. You actually went on the witness stand, raised your hand, and snitched.
Yeah.
And that's one thing. Yeah. Well, yeah, like Keyshawn says, chain of command, brother, and McNulty just can't shut up. And that's a fact.
That is definitely one of McNulty's worst flaws. He just can't. Yeah, he can't shut up when he should. Like sometimes you just don't need to say what you think. Sometimes you just keep it to yourself. Say it after.
I'm like, so this is Rawls and Daniels and Burrell. They're trying because they're like, look, they don't want this. They want out of this.
Yeah.
And Rawls and Burrell are like, get us out of this shit. This is why because Burrell specifically put Daniels in there. Why? Because he has dirt on him being a dirty cop. So he was like, yo, you're my guy. I protected you all those years ago when you did that dirty cop shit. And I protected
Daniel's morals are kind of tingling him throughout this whole thing.
Yeah, because it's
he sees they can actually get some legit police work done here.
And that the Barksdale crew aren't just regular stick-up guys and stuff. They're real gangsters.
This is an operation. Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't just, it's some couple of drug dealer tough guys out here. And, you know, as it goes on, they start going, wait a minute, these guys are paying politicians. They're doing, these guys are putting a lot of money. They're dropping
But that's why these guys are scared, because they're part of that problem.
There you go. Oh, yeah. You know. And we still haven't gotten to my man. She,
exactly.
She. I can't wait
and Littlefinger. Yeah.
Yo, well, we won't see Littlefinger, but we'll see.
For a while, but he plays the dirty politician, right? He's like a senator, right, or something.
Yeah, he's a councilman, Councilman Carcetti. Season 3. Actually, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't think we won't see him until we'll see Bunny Colvin in one episode of season 2. Then Bunny Colvin obviously is heavily featured in season 3 and with Carcetti. And then he thought him and Carcetti were cool. Carcetti kind of threw him under the bus. And Carcetti becomes the mayor, in season 4, and then he's still the mayor.
He's good at playing little slime balls. That guy.
That's the first time I saw him on American television. That's with Aidan Gillen. Who I love. I love him. He had been in the UK on Queer as Folk, and he had played a gay character along with I can't remember the guy.
I've never seen any of the queer.
I've watched like
are
episodes.
Are they comedies or are they like dramas or are they dramedy?
It's kind of like dramedy because it's supposed to the life of 3 young gay men, blah blah blah.
And there's the antics and just whatever happens.
Very well written show though. It's just I'm obviously not the target audience, but if sometimes you don't have to be the target audience to enjoy things like.
I think you and I are both very similar in the fact that like we enjoy lots of different
things. And the acting was brilliant on it. It's just like I said,
but sometimes things just don't hit, for whatever reason.
But yeah, that was the first time. Like I think Aiden actually won an award for Queer as Folk, and I'm trying to remember the other guy that was on it. I think it's Charlie Hunnam, that was the star of Sons of Anarchy. He was one of the 3 guys.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. One more shot of Brandon's body.
Yeah, it's Brandon's body again.
As we're ending the last shot to end the episode, another shot of Brandon's.
How many times did we see that? About 5? We saw
that was at least 5.
Okay.
Maybe 6, but definitely 5. Definitely 5.
Okay.
So it was like right at the beginning, then we saw it like boom, and then we saw it again, and then again. I don't know, 4 or 5 times.
I thought, but this is a solid episode. I really thought it very well directed by Mr. Ed Bianchi. I really liked it. I really liked
Not
it.
a lot of action, but a lot of dialogue and yeah.
This is dialogue. This, if you want to see real acting, this is what The Wire is. It's not going to be oh, let's kick in the door and blow up some stuff and do all that. That's never been what the show.
There weren't any like huge big moments in this. It was just in this episode. I mean, just in particular.
Yeah, because they set up a lot of this in episode 5, and then we rolled into rolled. Because like I said, we see D. Wallace and Poot hit D. D calls him back on the payphone. Yo, we see the stick up boy. Where y'all at? We at the arcade down here. Boom, boom. All right, stay by the phone, and I'm gonna hit y'all back. And then they hit Stringer up, and Stringer at first thinks it's a joke, but D's got the emergency code in there. He's like, "Oh boy, here you go," because they
what's
know
this trick gonna be? Yeah,
and so they're like, "Okay, so D is D got another problem. Let me go." So then he calls him, and he goes, "Oh shit, they got the stick up boy. All right, cool." And then like they over there at the arcade, tell them boys to hang tight and point us out when we get there. And obviously they Bird and Weebay and them rolled up on him and put the handcuffs on him and took him off. And then we see episode 6, and he's sprawled out with his eyes bugged out. I mean,
he's just covered in blood. He's just covered in blood. He's just red.
One of my favorite lines is the guy that's told you he'd been like a police officer or whatever. He'd been like a big police chief or whatever. He actually said when they first walked up on Brandon's body, they said, "Jesus, they must have killed this kid 5 or 6 times." I was like, because you could clearly see
he was.
I mean, that was almost as bloody as I've seen. What was the Passion of the Christ with Jim Caviezel?
God, I will never.
You never watched? Oh no! God, when they get to the crucifixion at the end, that is one of the bloodiest. Oh my God!
I'm good. I'm good.
I watched it. My mom watched it, and I mean, obviously, a lot of people watched it. The movie made $200 million and it sold on DVD and all that. I mean, movie they still show it like Easter Sunday and stuff, but I'm
not a very religious person.
There are some people that were surprised, like when it aired on network television, that they didn't edit out some of the torture.
Why? Because in certain circumstances, it's quite all right. Anything having to do with
there's
God
2 movies where that was the case. 2 movies. One was Passion of the Christ, where they didn't edit anything out when it aired on network television. And the second one was Schindler's List. Schindler's List aired unedited with the swear words and everything. It aired on NBC, and I watched it. And but I saw it on cable, but they aired it unaltered on, they outside of the commercial. They put a couple of commercials.
I was just about to ask, was it commercial free or no?
No, it wasn't commercial free because they had, but they had limited sponsors. It was like the Ford Motor Company or something. They had limited sponsors. But the nudity wasn't aired. It wasn't edited out. They aired it completely unaltered outside of the commercial breaks. But Passion of the Christ aired on national television like that as well. And when they get to the end and he's being crucified, that is some gruesome stuff. And I was like, when I see Brandon and he's laid out and it's one of the eyes is out and all this, I was like, that was one of the most gruesome dead bodies I've ever seen. I was like, wow.
I bet though if it was real, like he'd probably be very unrecognizable in the face. Like his face would be like I don't even want to picture it, but I bet his face would just be disgusting. Like even like not just covered in blood, but like just fucked up.
Yeah, I thought, but that's the only thing I can say that was close to that is seeing Jim Caviezel in Passion of the Christ. Because seeing him in Passion of the Christ, and when they started, they had the Cat of Nine Tails. They actually
I barely enjoy horror movies for the most part. Like
they made sure they used the Cat of Nine Tails, and then like you see the Cat of Nine Tails actually dig into his flesh and pull back and stuff like that. I mean, it was so gross.
No thanks. Yeah, I'm good. You're not. Yeah, I
the
definitely
movie
don't need to
itself was
watch
good.
that.
I enjoyed the movie, but when it gets towards the end and you get to seeing that stuff, it was a little rough to watch. But and not to mention they speak the whole damn movie in Aramaic.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is,
no, I'm good. I'm
it
so
had
good.
subtitles. The whole
I'm not
movie,
like
so
anti-foreign film or having to read subtitles, but yeah, these days I'm just I'm good. I'm good.
I was actually, it got nominated for so many awards, and I think I only won like set design or something. I was like, it only won like one or two because I think maybe the costume design or whatever. Because Jim Caviezel got nominated for Best Actor and lost. A lot of people were upset that he lost, and I mean, boy, that was a hell of a performance. Though he did. It was an amazing, but I couldn't watch. Somebody was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch it again." I was like, "No," because I saw there were a couple.
That
of friends
sounds like
of mine,
a one and done kind of a movie.
yeah, it was definitely one and done for me. But I had some friends. Their church
Oh,
were
God.
taking people to the movie. They were doing like church bus trips to go to the movie theater to see it. I mean, that
No
was
comment.
It was that. I'm just saying, but that was interesting because I was like, once I saw it the first time.
Also,
that
because
was
it's
it.
a movie made by, it's like one person's. I don't know. It's anyway, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I
maybe
just
a Friday conversation, not a
that
Wire
was
Wednesday conversation.
yeah, but like I said, yeah, that was like I said, that was a one and done for me. I've not watched
That's
the movie
Schindler's
again.
List for me too. I saw that once.
I watched Schindler's List 3 times.
I don't need to see that again.
I watched it 3 times. Because I thought Ray Fiennes' performance was outstanding.
It's a great performance in it, but I don't want to like.
It's a brutal movie though.
Yeah,
it's brutal to watch, but I thought Ray Fiennes was outstanding. And we did this the other week when we found out that he got robbed by Tommy Lee Jones.
From The Fugitive. It's just so rare. Like, wait, what?
He got nominated for Best Supporting Actor and lost to. It was like, hold up, who were the other nominees in that category? Because you named somebody else.
It was any of them could have been like.
There were two that I thought would have.
Yeah, but Tommy Lee Jones in The Fugitive, that was a head scratcher. That was like a really?
Was it what's his name? Was it I'm trying to think, was it the guy from what was it, Primal Instinct or whatever? I'm trying to remember.
Oh, Ed Norton?
Maybe. I thought it was Ed Norton, but it was
Primal Fear. Wasn't that the movie? Yeah. Is that the one where he's like the defendant and he's in the jail cell and he has like
multiple personalities
yeah.
Which that's a great movie. I thought Richard Gere,
I haven't seen that since it came out. I think.
No, I've watched that movie like 5 times. I thought Richard Gere put on an acting class for that particular movie.
I don't always love Richard Gere because I find him dull, like just ugh. But he's good in that. He's good in that.
There's a couple of movies like Officer and a Gentleman and American Gigolo, he's outstanding in that. And then you see him in Officer and a Gentleman. That's I can't remember what's the guy? It's the same guy that directed Ray. I can't remember exactly. Not Terrence Malick. I don't think that was him. Because Terrence Malick is another director. It's not Terrence Malick, but he directed the same guy that directed
Taylor Hackford.
Okay, there you go. Good. Okay, so yeah, Taylor Hackford directed that, and he directed like Lean on Me and some stuff. So,
oh my gosh, that movie.
They used to call me Crazy Joe.
On Me, like maybe 100 times. Like okay, maybe not.
I watched Lean on Me, but I love
that
Morgan
movie
Freeman.
like not. I mean, that movie was on TV. Like any channel, every channel, all the time when I was young. Like it was just always on TV, like especially like on a Saturday or a Sunday. It would be like the movie that was on at like 2. And it starts off with the jungle, and it's just the students being, you're just like, what is going on? Like as a kid, it was just like, and it's like, it's just
when they have that school assembly, when they, because first, Joe throws all the troubled kids out, and then they have the school assembly of all the you see a few white kids that are still going to the school, and he's like, if they could have left us, he said, they're in the same boat as you are, because if they could have left us, they would have left us.
We're in this together. Don't fucking get on each other here.
Everybody
hates all of us. So let's do this.
Yeah, it's not just the black kids. It's not the white. Yeah, everybody's there, because everybody that's still here now are all in the same circumstances.
They're just as poor
Yeah, they're all poor.
Yeah.
You know, you're either poor black trash, poor white trash, whatever. You just poor. So,
right.
you know, that's why you still there. But
no, you're not, and you're not trash. We're gonna get these grades up. You can learn. And then they lock all the and who's the mom that gets so pissed because her drug dealing son, and she's in everything. She was in Where in the World's Carmen Sandiego. What is her name? So, I can never remember her name.
She's a brilliant actress, and
she always is. She's in like everything.
Yeah, and she seems to have a type where she's typecast as the crazy angry black woman that seems
or like is she ever play like a lieutenant or like a cop in charge or anything?
I've officer a few times, but I might be wrong on that. But like I said, Morgan Freeman in Lean on Me was incredible. He got nominated for that and lost. He didn't win an Oscar until he did what was it, the boxing movie with $1 Million Baby. He won Best Supporting because I think he also got nominated for Unforgiven. That was the second movie he had done with Clint Eastwood, and he got nominated for not Unforgiven won for best picture and best director. So that movie, Clint Eastwood won. He was executive producer. So he got whoever the executive producers are on the movie, they get Oscars, and then he also obviously directed Unforgiven. He got nominated for best actor too, but he didn't win that. Gene Hackman got nominated for best supporting actor, and I'm trying to think, did he win for that? Because I know he had already won for the French Connection. I had to look, but oh man, see, that's the thing. We go on these tangents and get it on. But the next episode of The Wire.
Oh yeah, it's Wire Wednesday. That's right. That's what we were talking about.
Yeah, well, at least we pretty much stayed on task for the good. This is the after.
Wait. Lynn Thigpen is the woman. And what interesting name. Anyway.
Lynn Thigpen. Okay. Well, okay. So.
Yes. Okay. So episode, what's it called? Episode 7?
7 is called One Arrest. And that is what we will be running our mouths about next week. Or at the same time. So let me do the little rundowns again. Okay, so you can catch us on Wire Wednesday or on the Friday's JillStream, because we will definitely be back this coming Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesdays and Fridays for these broadcasts. We thank you guys.
Or if you're like me, 3 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, 3 p.m. Pacific. Yeah, so there you go. Well, I forgot. California don't got California. Knows how to party. So I will be taking this audio, the audio of this broadcast, and I will be uploading it to anchor.fm/Akari Press. Now, you don't have to go there. You can if you want to, because you can definitely stream there. But you can also catch us on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And I hear we might be going to some other places very shortly here, maybe within the next few weeks. Can't wait to announce that when we actually go live. It's I'm very excited, Jill. This is you are the best, and I think you and I together has just been fantastic on the show. So I'm very happy to do these streams with you. Also, want to say hello again to our good friends over on Facebook, streaming on Planet EJOBN. Salute to Jamal Baraka and all the good folks over there. If you do listen to this on another platform, whether it be Periscope or Twitch or whatever, because we are everywhere. We're like Visa. We're everywhere you want to be. So wherever you are, you can come to youtube.com/Akari Press. And you can hang out directly with us in the chat. And what we do, if you are watching us, if you hear the sound of my voice, if you have been enjoying our streams over the last few weeks, give us a thumbs up, a like, or whatever. We appreciate you for being here. As always, catch me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on YouTube, all at Akari Press. AkariPress.com will take you to Brand Way of the Gun. We're getting closer to that 29K. Help us get there if you are a comic book head. Of course, get our merch on Amazon and on Teespring. wear a brand shirt and, toot your horn and let everybody see all the fancy wares that you have. Jill, is there anything you'd like to say before we tip on out of here?
No, goodbye. See you Friday.
Yes, we will be back. Oh, yeah. And before I forget, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kari Press YouTube and on Planet EJOBN, we will have Shelby Robertson right here live on this channel. He's got a great art book that he's going to be promoting. I'm very interested to talk about his career of over 25 years in the comic book industry. And yeah, see, there you go. Toss a coin to your Michael Roth. Thank you for the tip,
Thank
sir.
You, Michael.
We do appreciate it. Toss a coin to your Witcher, oh Valley of Plenty, oh Valley of Plenty, oh. Okay, there you go. You don't know.
He put money into the slot. That's what happens.
There you go.
That's exactly what was supposed to happen.
See, when you super chat, I will sing something. I don't know. I'm taking requests.
Definitely.
But yes,
we definitely know our TV themes.
Yes, yes, we do. But yes, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shelby Robertson, a great inker from Rob Liefeld's Extreme Studios. Start working for Rob Liefeld at the ripe old age of 17. And has done work on like video games and all this. I mean, still working, still out here grinding. Got a great looking art book. We're gonna, Shelby's a friend. He actually did this little trading card here. For those of you that are watching, this trading card art here that I still own the original art to. He sent me the original art, and big fan of Shelby's, and so I am very thrilled to have him Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here live on my channel and, of course, on Planet EJOBN as well. Please come hang out with us. We would love to have you and talk about comics. But for Jill and myself, Excelsior.